Auntie Elise here at Bowman Library in our children's room with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So for this week, tomorrow, like Tuesday, is one of the best, I guess you would call it an unofficial holiday, but for a lot of us it is an official holiday because it is May the 4th. And that means it's all about Star Wars. So we're going to use that as some inspiration. And this week we are focusing on science fiction. Now, science fiction is defined as books that are about things that could actually possibly happen in the future. And what I love about science fiction is that means there can be a ton of different options. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at 6 that are all kind of different and unique in their own way, but they're science fiction. It just doesn't have to be about outer space and aliens, guys. So let's get started. Our first one is The League of Seven by Alan Gratz. And Alan Gratz is, first off, he's amazing to begin with, and this book is no exception. So, living in America in 1875, Archie's parents work for a secret group called the Septemberist Society, which their goal is they watch for signs of things to come. They kind of try to figure out if they can predict the future. So they start to receive warning that there are these monsters called Manglespawn, and these monsters are currently imprisoned below ground. And they're starting to gain some strength, and they are getting ready to rise again, and they want to take over society. So there is a legend that says when this happens, there are going to be 7 heroes that will come together and they're going to defeat them. So Archie, this whole time, hasn't been really worried about it because he knows, according to this legend, there is a solution, there is an outcome. But when the monsters do rise up and they break loose, they capture Archie's parents, and it's going to be up to Archie and his new ragtag team of people and friends he's made that they need to come together, and they're going to need to save his parents as well as defeat the Manglespawn. So if you love steampunk or you love reimagined history, this is a perfect series. This is the first in a completed trilogy, The League of Seven. Found by Margaret Peterson Haddix. Okay, so 13 years before our book gets started, there is this mysterious airplane, and it just arrives at an airport, and there's no adults on board. There's not even a pilot on board this plane. There's just 36 babies, like newborn babies on this plane. That is it. So all of the babies end up getting adopted, and Jonah and his best friend Chip are 2 of them. So fast forward now to 13 years later, they are 13 years old, they're living in Ohio, and they start to receive these really weird notes and messages with words telling them that they are one of the missing and that people are coming to get them. And they start to get kind of a little bit freaked out by this. Not knowing what is going on, they, along with Jonah's sister Catherine, decide they're gonna see if they can't figure out what exactly the deal is. So they start, doing some digging, and they find out that the FBI was involved in their adoptions, which just makes this whole thing even weirder and creepier. And then there are others out there that are receiving these messages too. When they start to piece things together and they start to meet some of these others, they soon stumble upon a secret that is so explosive that it will literally change everything. This is the first in a lengthy series. There's at least 8 books in this series. If you like your science fiction with some mystery and some action, some government intrigue, this is the one for you. This is Found. Jinxed. So, for her whole life, all Lacey has wanted to do is to be accepted into the prestigious Perfectus Academy of Science and Technology, and she just wants to design these robotic pets and animals that are called Baku. When she is denied acceptance into this school, though, she thinks everything is falling apart, and it is then that she finds this broken cat, Baku, and she decides to fix this cat up, even though it seems like it's beyond repair, and it works, and the cat kind of comes to life, and she names the cat Jinxed, and all of a sudden she gets this note that she is actually accepted into this prestigious school. And then even crazier things happen, and she can't help but wonder if the new cat, Baku, has something to do with this, especially since Jinxed is not your normal and average Baku. So as Lisa goes to school, she starts to make friends. She finds herself on a robot battle team. The mysteries and secrets just continue to grow and get deeper. So this is the first in a series. If you like your science fiction with robots, secrets, friendship, make sure to read this one. This is Jinxed. Oh, so this is A New Hope, the Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy. So if you love Star Wars, then this is for you. So this is a book adaptation of A New Hope, or Episode 4. As you may know, it's the movie that's between Revenge of the Sith and The Empire Strikes Back. So the storyline is based on the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what is going to happen in here. But what is so cool and interesting about this take is not only does it provide some additional dialogue that you know adds to the story and maybe make things make a little more sense. There's different backgrounds. This book is divided into 3 parts, with each being a different point of view from one of our main characters. There's a point of view of Luke, Leia, and Han Solo. And you get to see things that happen differently through each of their lenses. So it kind of gives you a completely different look at this story you may or may already not know already. So I highly recommend this. You won't be disappointed. There are other books exactly like this for The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. This is the first one, A New Hope. Emperor of the Universe. So 12-year-old Nicholas is currently suspended from school for bringing a toy lightsaber. And when he's home, things kind of get a little strange when in his gerbil's cage, his gerbil named Henrietta, there's this teleportation portal that just suddenly appears, and before he knows it, he and his gerbil Henrietta and this random package of hamburger meat, which was on the table next to the cage, they all get sucked into this teleportation portal. And then to make things even like weirder, the pound of hamburger, you know, it comes to life and it starts talking, and it actually has a name called Jeef, and they find themselves in outer space and in a spaceship. He soon learns that they have been kidnapped by these caterpillar-like aliens called Cabrorzi for this reality TV show that they have in outer space, in which these aliens like to cut things up, meaning that they kidnapped Nicholas so they could cut him up. Escaping, the 3 now go on this hilarious journey through space as they try to make their way back to Earth before Nicholas's parents know exactly what's going on. So if you love your science fiction with some serious humor, then this has both. This is the first in a trilogy. This is Emperor of the Universe. And our last one for today, this is The Portal. So when her mother dies, Rose is sent to live with her frail grandmother, Rosalinda, in Indianapolis. Her grandmother, though, lives in this humongous house, and it's kind of not at all what Rose expected. So Rose, you know, she starts trying to fit in at school, she's trying to make friends, and she starts to make friends, but she also finds herself the target of some mean girl bullies as she designs her own clothes and has her own fashion blog, and they don't really understand her sense of fashion. So one day she's off exploring this huge house she's now living in, and in the greenhouse she discovers that there is a time travel gateway. And when she enters this gateway, she finds herself in the 1500s in England as a maid for the future Queen Elizabeth I. It is there that she gets sucked into palace politics, and somehow she ends up with this locket. And inside this locket are 2 pictures. One of her recently deceased mother, and then this other picture of this guy that she cannot help but wonder if that is her actual father, who she has never met. Deciding that she needs to figure out who this person is, she starts searching in the 1500s while also trying to juggle her modern day life while she's time jumping back and forth. If you're interested in time travel or history, wondering how it would be like to live other places and times, this is The Portal. So these are just 6 of the science fiction books that we have here at the library. And again, what I love about science fiction is as long as it could possibly happen in the future, it's science fiction, which means we have a humongous wide variety. So come on down, feel free to check out one of these, or we can help you find that perfect science fiction book you want to read. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new middle grade book spotlight.